robust urban garlic flavor.
There you go. Let's do that then. Let's leave it on this level, and hopefully it'll sound good for the stream. Okay? Cool. All right, so we got a bunch to tackle today. It's actually only 2 days until the new year. Okay? I'm not doing a podcast tomorrow, so this is the final podcast of 2025. And before we even get into it, I just want to say thank you all for an amazing year. This year, 100% was the best year that I have had in content creation since back in the day when I was a prominent YouTuber. Because I'm well aware I'm not. I am culturally relevant. People still talk about me, but I'm definitely not a prominent YouTuber anymore. I haven't been for quite some time.
Welcome home, everybody. For those of you who don't know, DSP had a string of 3 straight streams where he did not hit the goal. So he is coping mightily right now. He's reviewing his 2025 year because this is the last podcast of the year. So he's getting very sentimental, and he is trying his darndest to convince his fans that this was a very good year for him.
Robust content. That's right. It is robust. You know, I fell off during the era of YouTube changing their algorithm multiple times to basically account for certain things.
Yeah, the YouTube algorithm accounted for stuff that people actually wanted to watch, so Phil fell off really hard. And he's never quite figured out what people want to watch, so he doesn't upload stuff that gets views. As a result, he's in the toilet.
Very nice. Thank you, Nothing Here. How you like that new animation? You know, and it is what it is. Being that I'm a legacy YouTuber, I do have interest in my content and on me all the time, which is a good thing. But I'm very lucky that I started when I did, because it allows me to keep making the content that I like, and I'm very appreciative of that. I'm well aware that people who've done this for 17 years, a lot of them have moved on or completely changed who they are, and the fact that I've changed for the better, but I still get to play games, chill with you, and have a good time, do the content I want.
Yeah, the legacy spaceman stubbornly continues to make this a financially solvent situation for him because he has these small groups of individuals that consider Phil to be very entertaining for a variety of reasons and continue to pay him for it, despite the vast amount of people on the internet considering Phil boring. The Asmongold bump proved that. He got 8,000 new subscribers, yet he has 1 super chatter left, most of them are gone, the views are still falling, he's back to level 1. Most people get bored of pity begs really quickly, Phil.
And I'm not forced into doing that I don't want to do, i.e. drama.
He tried, that failed.
And this kind of political slop.
He tried that too, that also failed.
And stuff that people are just tossing out there.
Like DSP Reacts, where he took in viewer requests for money, and that was basically his whales gifting more memberships because they didn't want to super chat him huge amounts or something stupid like that.
To ride trends. I'm happy that I don't have to do that, okay?
He desperately wanted to do anything but gaming, but the reality is he's not good at anything. He's just skilled at convincing a few amount of people to give him a ton amount of money through manipulation and eBegging and things like that. Like lolcow live, but on a much smaller scale. He desperately did all those tech sessions hoping that the Asmongold tourists would love it, so it would have provided him a pivot to like branch out and do other things, but they all got bored and left because it was really boring.
So thank you. This year surely has had ups and downs. Let's be very honest.
Yeah, the end of Claire Obscure, where you were having streams consistently where you're getting less than $50, the constant wage quitting, the constant begging for DSP tries it, the constant $150 of the game gets it, the declaring yourself King Snake and stuff like that, which is all nonsense. It was clown mode 2025.
We started off this year uncertain. I was riding a high, well, complete nonsense from this collab that I had done late in 2024, but already it was basically fizzling out.
Yeah, he won't even mention Kino Casino, even though they were an integral part of his content for like months. The reason it fizzled out is that the casino told their fans to dump a ton of money on Phil, and their fans got so bored of Phil that they were like, you gotta stop this. We refuse to give any more money to Phil or even watch him, or even have you cover him repeatedly.
So we were trying new things, like bringing back my wrestling commentary show, and doing various different crossovers and collabs with content creators from all over the place, right? I think it worked for the most part.
It didn't work at all. If it did, he would still be doing it. And I'm not talking about Wings, I'm actually talking about the other people.
But it was short-lived because wrestling didn't work this year. Like, wrestling kind of fizzled out. I was watching it for 4 months, and by the end of the 4 months when WrestleMania hit, I was bored.
Sure, Phil, congratulations. We all know you're bored of video games, too.
I didn't really want to watch wrestling anymore. I felt like WWE had tanked their own product. had botched all the things that they were trying to lead up to, and it just didn't leave a good taste in my mouth. I mean, in general, my viewers were telling me, yeah, that this content is boring now because wrestling is boring.
Fascinating, Phil. Good thing nobody cares.
And so I kind of redoubled my efforts. I got out of the whole Dramasphere collab stuff, and instead I just doubled down on gaming. And to be honest with you guys, it worked. This year, it worked tremendously.
Yeah, he did the same thing that he's been known for over and over again, and his pay pigs kept on paying. Phil, if Kino Casino didn't introduce Iron Dead Sakai to your content, it would have been a much different story. And still, you also are losing viewership and money. People tracking it have shown that.
More often than not, I was getting great engagement and support in my content, no matter what I was doing, whether it was playing a game, chilling with you on a podcast, having a chill with Phil, stream, building Legos.
Yeah, but when he uploaded those unedited garbage videos onto YouTube, they get very few comments, if any at all. And the views are dropping precipitously. That's what happens when you add 8,000 subscribers that realize that the content is boring and don't unsubscribe, and then they become dead weight to your channel.
You know, whatever it was, we did a lot of content this year. This year, reinvigorated DSP Tries It. It came back out of nowhere, really, and ended up being something that was quite entertaining for the masses.
Yeah, tens of thousands of people were absolutely clamoring to see DSP Tries It. Here's the reality. He was using it as a leverage. It was the goal. The goal was to see Phil reward himself by eating fast food. That's just pretty much insane, but you know, there are plenty of stupid people out there, the whales included, who are like, yeah, I really want to pay Phil $1,500 to see him eat fast food more than once a week. It's all about propping Phil up and making him feel happy, even though we know he's not popular.
I think people really liked the fact that I did a variety of content this year, and it wasn't just gaming. And at the same time, I stayed true to myself. It wasn't going off the deep end, doing stuff that was so extreme that it was harmful to others, and I was becoming an offensive personality on the internet. I think that's what people were afraid of last year, was that I was heading in the wrong direction. I was changing for the worse. Even though it meant that I was getting more views and more money, people didn't want to see me change as a creator and a person. I was losing my core audience.
Which made it really funny when the Asmongold bump happened and he tried desperately to remove anything his core audience enjoys just to cater to the Asmongold tourists who are going to leave anyway because he's boring. Yeah, Phil's fans were never really worried about him deviating into drama, stuff like that. He's just painting it like he listens to their feedback where he absolutely doesn't. It's you either agree with what I say or I'm going to chastise or ignore you.
This year, I readjusted, course corrected for the better, because overall this year has been the best year when it comes to everything, really. When it comes to views, when it comes to engagement, and when it comes to support, this has been the best year that I have had since back in the day when I was growing on YouTube. It's been that much of kind of a rejuvenation.
Phil, I hate to break it to you, but you've been on a decline in YouTube viewership since 2011. I'm very skeptical that your pay pigs supported you so much where you got money more than you were making on Twitch. Especially since with the super chats, there's a 30% cut taken out. But the one thing we can determine is that viewership is most definitely down. That's what happens when you admit to lying to your fans for almost a decade about mobile game spending, while you're begging for money and declaring yourself destitute.
Okay, and I'm very grateful for that. You guys are awesome. I mean, take a look around, all the improvements that I have made as a result of all of your direct support. I really, really appreciate that.
You could make a case that none of these improvements benefited his audience. The one thing I will say is that the monitors allow him to see things as closer to him and that they are larger fonts in front of him. Also, if the gaming monitor is in front of him instead of a TV that's 10 feet away, it's easier to see things too. So those are the only things that really benefit his audience. He was using his mic improperly for like a year, and he really only continued to do so because people were telling him that, and he's like, no, I'm doing it right.
I mean, now I'm in a situation at the end of the year where I don't even have goals on my streams anymore. We just hang out and chill and have a good time together. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's all about. To no longer be tethered to financials or to having a set amount of things happen. You know what I mean? Instead, we just chill. We have a good time with no matter what I'm doing, and we move forward positively. We adjust on the fly when needed, which is one of the things we need to talk about today. I feel like we need to have a new slew of things that are going to hit and make you feel fresh around here. okay?
Except all those stream improvements don't really change anything. You're still gaming on level 1, Phil.
So I'm excited for the future after an amazing year. Like, this has been an absolutely great year, and I want you all to understand that, how grateful I am and how happy I am for how things went. Because honestly, at the end of last year and very early this year, I felt like things were maybe heading in a bad direction that wasn't good, and we course corrected. And now things are going great, okay? So I just want to say thank you, really, to everyone. It's been an amazing year, and man, we were up, down, and all around here. We were, but we came out the other end of it very positively, okay? I'm happy, and I'm excited for the future. I really am. And that's what I want to talk about on today's show, the future. What is it that you guys actually want in the coming months? And let's figure that out.
Don't be fooled by any of this. Phil is just coping here massively. The Asmongold bump had a huge thing with his success this month, but let's be real, he's always successful because it's eBegging. For the amount of effort he puts in, he profits a lot. He's doing very well for himself, even if he had a down year this year. And you know, he's trying to change the perception today because he does that every day. He does resets. The last 3 streams he failed to hit goals, and his whole spiel the night before was a 20-minute crash out where he's like, we got to figure out what you all want to do and what you want to pay me for. Now he's being more congenial. Hey, this is what we should look at for the future because maybe you want to see me do different things. Yeah, Phil, we've been down that road before, been there, done that. It's all garbage.
$2 Canadian super chat. And they said, it's not much, but thanks for a great 2025. Cheers. Thank you so much. Nothing here. And you never, ever have to say it's not much. That's ridiculous. I'm grateful for every contribution on a stream, without exception. Thank you so much for being here, for chilling, for engaging, for supporting, and for just being a very positive influence on me. I love it.
Oh, he may say this now, but whenever there's a $1 tip that flies through, he is really salty, especially when he's not making a ton of money on the stream.
Wow. It's like playing in molasses. It's slow and playing in molasses. I couldn't get my move out. It's lame as shit. Alright, more trolls, so I'm just gonna ignore them. There's a bunch of trolls doing $1 tips because they're idiots that think I'm gonna read their nonsense, and I'm not. They're morons. I'm just gonna ignore them.
I love hanging out with a great audience, a positive audience, okay? SR Trumbull did a $2 or £2 super chat, excuse me. It says, modded Minecraft would be an awesome to play at the moment 10. I don't know what you mean ATM 10. At the moment 10? I don't know what that means. Now, when you say modded Minecraft, SR Trumbull, what do you mean by that? Because I did play modded Minecraft earlier this year, if you're not aware. And we did it for about 2 months, I would say. It was fun. You know, we actually had the graphics modded, so it looked realistic. We had all kinds of new creatures and things that were added. Everything looked nice and was very, very visually appealing. It had some remixed stuff like new trees and foliage and things. It was really cool. But I don't know if particularly you have anything that you have in mind, like for modded Minecraft. Is there something that everyone's doing right now to mod Minecraft and it's a popular thing or something? You know, again, this is the stuff that I would like to be made aware of because I'm not always in the loop when it comes to this kind of stuff. If you want me to do something particular, all the mods 10 mod packs, says SR Trumbull. What? All the mods? Is this a particular mod pack that adds like popular mods or something like that? Interesting. So let me know. All right, let me know. And if anyone's interested in that, should we do that? Should we bring back Minecraft? Because, listen, we did Minecraft earlier this year. It worked, but it got played out. Basically, lasted about a month or two, and then people were like, all right, it's kind of boring. People stopped showing up for it. And I said, then let's move on to other stuff, which we did. And it worked out well. So I'm willing to listen, okay?
Yeah, here's where you know Phil is really getting desperate if he's willing to bring back Minecraft. That playthrough got a lot of support like the first couple times he played it, but then it ultimately became another stream where only Iced Coffee was holding out until the end, waiting to see if anybody would give more money, and then he would tip to get to the goal so they could continue to play it the next week. And you know, Phil was very cheesed about it because he didn't want to just hit 1 goal at the last minute. He wanted to try for 2 goals all the time.
Princess Luna gifted a membership this morning. Thank you, Princess Luna, for our first membership of the stream. I appreciate that very, very much. All right, and as we are getting started here, all right, I would just like to say thank you all for being here this morning for this podcast. It's a pretty important one because we need to talk about the future, and we're about to discuss a few things and figure stuff out. So thank you for being here for it. I really appreciate you.
Yay, another Philip Paul Burnell business meeting. How exhilarating.
Please, if you're here today live on stream, interact with the content and please get some support going. For example, right now, if you're on the stream on YouTube, you can give the stream a like. That helps tremendously. It actually gets this into the algorithm so people know I'm streaming. It'll show more people the stream and maybe we'll get some more viewers. If you're watching this on demand after the fact and you're enjoying the podcast, please give it a like. Please consider subscribing to the channel if you're not. Perhaps engage with the content. Leave a comment. I want your feedback. What do you think about the new year coming up? What do you think about how 2025 went? What do you think about the topics we're about to discuss when it comes to the new content that I'm interested in doing? Share your thoughts. All of that helps tremendously. All right, so please engage and thank you so much.
Yeah, he's back to like 2022 when he was doing the, oh, we need to push the engagement on my streams and in my videos, but that really fell through quickly because he privates his live stream. So what's the point of even liking them in the first place? Yeah, it may get more viewership on the live stream when it's happening, but it doesn't help him long term. That's the issue. He focuses on short-term whaling instead of long-term contributions. And he's just long-winded with everything that it makes it so boring that people can't handle it and they won't tune in.
Now, if you're here live, all right, it would be great if you could support the stream. On the YouTube side, you could become a member, or you can gift a membership to your fellow viewer, or you can do a super chat, all of which are greatly appreciated, and you'll see some new animations today for the super chats. If you're on the kick side, you could send some kicks, or you could become a sub, or you can give some subs. And again, you'll see new animations for that stuff today.
Yeah, I like how we're here 5 weeks after the Asmongold bump, and we are back to the same old blatant eBegging streams, especially when things go poorly. Everybody but Phil knew this was going to happen because we all know Phil has nothing to offer people besides eBegging. He doesn't want to put any effort into his streaming, he doesn't know how to entertain, and you know he's really burnt out. He doesn't really want to do anything but just sit there and complain. He doesn't want to play video games for your entertainment, he just wants to use it as a background filter so he can convince you that he's doing something when all he really is trying to do is get you to part with your money without offering anything in return.
And if you are watching no matter where you are, you could be on YouTube, you could be on Kick, you could be watching on demand after the fact, you could send a tip. If you're in the chat right now, you can type !tip. The command will come up to show you how to do it via PayPal. Or if you're watching on demand, you can watch the description of the video there, has the link there, and you can click on it and you can contribute via that way. So please consider it. Thank you so very much. I appreciate all you being here and chilling and having a good time with me here for the last podcast of 2025. Okay?
Yeah, he has to go in excruciating detail about how you need to give him money and how you can give him money. This is what makes him a lolcow. If he just said it in one sentence, nobody would care, but it's the constant repetition of it and the long-windedness that gets you to this. Because we can see it's very apparent that Phil is sweaty and needy for money. And now let's see what he offers in return for said money.
Cool. All right. Just to keep in mind, I do a live shout out for contributions that come in, and thank you in advance. So, let's talk. All right, first off, let's do a tech test. I want to test something.
Yeah, he's testing tech that he could do off stream with his wife. Why can't she do that? Is she just gone, or is she stubbornly refusing to help him out with his stuff? The latter would be a lot funnier. This is the same kind of nonsense that got the Asmongold tourists to leave. He doesn't get that this is stuff you shouldn't really be doing on stream or making a huge deal about it, but he makes it like a daily routine.
I can clean out my closet and you can hear me. Watch. See? Right now, I'm actually inside of my closet and you can still hear me. I could be in here taking stuff out, right? Like, look, I could do this and I could take the shell.
Oh my 220, he's prepping for the next series of streams where he cleans stuff out of his closet. Classic nonsense Phil, minimal effort, should be doing this off stream.
And I can say, hey, guess what I just got out of my closet? And you still heard me the whole time, right? I can actually do stuff. People are saying it sounded good. I sounded better when I was in the closet. Well, there you go. It sounded better in the closet. There you go. All right, let me try it. Watch this. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go across my office. Ready? I'm going to go for a little walk across the office. And even though my chair is empty, somehow mysteriously I am talking to you in the office. I mean, I would actually have the ability to walk across my whole house if I wanted to, and you'd still hear me. I could be across the hallway in my bedroom. I could be downstairs. The wireless mics have a decent range. It's not, insanely long or anything, but I would have the ability to go walk up to my window and talk. I could do stuff in the house. That's pretty cool.
Wow, here's Phil talking in his kitchen, but you can't see him in his kitchen. Here is Phil going to the bathroom while he's on a break. Wow, this is incredible, Phil. And those mics are just gonna flip out or the signal's gonna break like they did there. But this is a huge stream improvement, guys. He's offering absolutely nothing. Dude, just shut up and play games and be entertaining while playing games. If you were able to do that, you wouldn't have to do all these stupid gimmicky stuff that we can all see through. The fact that he's doing things like this show you that he's desperate. It may not be the money, but he is desperate to stop playing games. So he's like, oh, what else can I do besides boring myself with games I don't want to play to get these people to pay me money? That's all it is. Alright, everybody, I hope you enjoyed Phil's Crash Out and Cope session. This is Robust turning off the station. See you all next time.
Jeff did a $5 tip. He says, I want to hear you say robust bourbon garlic flavor, like how you said robust urban garlic flavor. I never said robust urban garlic flavor. I said bourbon, not urban. How dare you? How dare you insinuate that I would say the word urban? I'm white. I can't say urban. It's offensive. You understand? That's how it works. Okay. All right, we're now up to $325 of support.